If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
6:30 after the hour, David Simpkins from First United Methodist Church in Sylacauga joins us. David, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Jimmy Dale.
Good to have you with us. And I was telling David right before we came on about just kind of stumbling on some video and audio of a group that's going to be here in Sylacauga Thursday, the Voices of Mobile. And I did this, I think, last year, and I never heard of them before, but man, they're good.
They are an incredible group, and I thank you for having me on. We'd like to definitely promote this to the community. We'd love to have everybody come out Thursday evening at 6 o'clock. They're going to be at our church, First Methodist, and but it's for the community. We want everybody to feel welcome.
Talk about the Voices of Mobile, who they are, if people may not know them.
Okay. The Voices of Mobile is a student group from the University of Mobile. There are 18 students, and they are, I guess you would call, the primary musical outreach organization of the university, and they are an amazing group, and they're under the musical direction of a man named Andrew Goodwin, who does an amazing job, but they're produced by Dr. Roger Breland, and Dr. Breland is one of the deans of the school there in University of Mobile, and he, if we remember back in the 70s, there was a group that used to travel around and made quite an impression called Truth. Mm-hmm. Dr. Breland was the director of that band.
Well, they were awesome.
That group. And they were kind of the, contemporary Christian music before anybody knew what contemporary Christian.
I had forgotten about them.
With Integrity Publishing down in Mobile. They were coming along, and they probably, I would argue, they set the stage for Amy Grant and Michael W. Smith and those people. But anyway, the Voices of Mobile is, you could argue, is the heir apparent to the Truth organization, and they're an incredible group. Recently, they've performed at the White House.
I was about to say, they're not just an Alabama group either.
In fact, this is one of the first stops on their summer tour. After they leave us on Friday, I think they fly to Little Rock, Arkansas, and then out to the West Coast, I believe. I'm not really sure where all they go after Sylacauga, but just recently they've been Brooklyn Tabernacle Church in New York City, the White House. Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. I think just prior to the fire, and they've been all over the world. They're world renowned, and we're honored and excited to have them here in Sylacauga.
Well, tell us a little bit more about them coming to Sylacauga. I know it's Thursday night.
Right. Well, it's Thursday night at First United Methodist Church in our fellowship hall, which is the side of our campus that's closest to Main Avenue. And $10 tickets, or just $10 at the door when you come. And it starts at 6 o'clock, and we just love to have everybody there. There's plenty of parking, plenty of ways to come into our church, and there'll be plenty of people there to direct you to the area where the performance will be.
And people are looking for something to do in the summer months outside of the beach or the mountains or wherever. And this is a great venue for an event with the Voice of Mobile.
It is. It's incredible, and we wanted to kind of do something not just for our church, but for all of our area churches, to kind of offer a little something that we can come to, especially myself as a musician, and I'm sure, some of my friends around at the other churches, First Baptist, Marble City, and Mickey and Tim and those guys, this is a chance for us to, choir members, praise team members from all over our community to come and be fed. So often we spend our time Sunday mornings, working, playing the music, preparing, and to lead our worship services, but this is a chance to come and just kind of see how to do it, and have somebody to show us how to really do it. And
what's some of the music that we might anticipate that the Voices of Mobile might do?
They do a huge variety, but a lot of it's contemporary Christian. A lot of it's praise and worship. You'll hear some good old gospel, because as you know, the University of Mobile is actually a Baptist school. It's affiliated with the Southern Baptist Association, and so it's a very Baptist type of a group, I guess, with a lot of gospel, I'm sure. But they'll do some a cappella things as well that'll just, blow you away. Just amazing group. And of course, we're happy to have them at our Methodist church.
How were you able to get them to Sylacauga, Alabama?
Well, I would have to say one of my great friends is Martez Tidwell, who is the choral music director at Sylacauga High School, is a former member of Voices of Mobile. And he and I were chatting, and Martez is actually helping us with our youth choir at First United Methodist. And we were chatting one day a few months ago about, boy, we really want to do something to really excite our people and the people of the community about choral music in our churches. And hey, let's get the Voices of Mobile. So we reached out to Dr. Breland and, hey, would you have a date out there? That
kind of like a dream, isn't it?
It was kind of like a dream. And he responded and said, yes, how about June 13th? And done, so let's do it. So that's how it happened.
Wow.
So we like to thank Martez Tidwell for that connection, definitely.
Now, understanding that adults are $20, students,
actually,
is that right?
we've changed that.
Okay.
All tickets $10.
Okay.
Everything's $10
right.
at the door, so
okay.
Regardless of age. So
all right, that's fantastic.
Glad to have you.
Voices of Mobile, Thursday night, 6 p.m., First United Methodist Church Fellowship Hall. And as David mentioned, this is not a First United Methodist Church event, so to speak. It is a community happening.
We want it to
and
be,
a lot
yes.
of people love music, whether it's old hymns of the church or contemporary or praise and worship. It all lifts up the name of Jesus.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I would say this whole idea was born out of our desire, especially with our worship and arts department at our church, that the desire for some revival. We need to be fed. We need to be inspired and to be energized with what we do, and this is just going to be the ticket.
How do musicians and musical leaders like yourself fight that battle? I know it's got to be a battle because being in youth ministry years ago and later senior ministry, and you're always in the forefront giving and putting in, but you got to be fed as well, and there's got to be a balance there.
That's right. It is a struggle. I have to admit, because 52 Sundays they keep coming, and so it's important to take some time off. And I'm preaching to myself now because my wife Katie gets after me all the time because I never really take any time off, because sometimes it's harder to be away than it is to just come on back to work. But I think it starts with being able to find time, prayer time. Time to go away for a little bit during the week, and maybe for extended times during the course of the years, where you can dream and spend time with Scripture, spend time in prayer, spend time listening to what the new things are that are going on in the world of music and church, and then try to find a place where you finally feel rested and ready to plug back in. So,
hey, if you had, and this is not in my notes or anything, but if you had a mentor, who would it be?
Wow, that's a great question. There've been so many.
There's a couple that stand out.
Well, I tell you, in terms of choral music goes, I would have to say, our old friend Tony Higginbotham that used to be at First Baptist Church. Tony was a great friend, and he just knew so much about things that I've drawn from. I call him quite regularly, or we email still. He's down in Mobile too, in the Mobile area, and Eastern Shore Baptist. And so Tony's a great friend. He's been a huge help to me. So there's a fellow named Mark Ridings in the Methodist denomination that I've reached out to several times. So the guy's great. And then a lot of times it's just with praise bands. Really, honestly, I honestly spend a lot of time on YouTube watching interviews for the guys that are making it happen right now.
You learn, man. You learn.
Chris Tomlin. And Michael W. Smith, those guys. So,
David Simpkins, our guest this morning. Those of you who are watching across state Alabama on Charter Network, Mobile, Huntsville, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden, Eastern, 650,000 households can watch this show. And maybe you do not know Dave and his background, but you come from a musical background forever.
I do. Yeah, my grandfather was the band director at Sylacauga High School from 1940, and then my dad after him, starting in like 1967. And then I was the band director for a good while and retired a few years ago. And now I'm the director of worship and arts at our church. I've always had a heart for church worship and worship music, and here I am.
All right, Voices of Mobile on Thursday night. Let's kind of capsule this. It's going to be a big, big night.
I hope so. We hope we have a full crowd. So come on out, enjoy it, and be fed and be inspired.
$10. The program begins at 6 o'clock. First United Methodist Church Fellowship Hall. If you need more information, you can call the church office here in town. And look forward to being a part of the ministry of the Voices of Mobile. You don't want to miss this for sure. David, thanks for coming this morning.
Thank you, Jimmy Dale.
More Daybreak right after this.